Welcome behind the scenes. I'm your host, That Man Blue. I'm joined by my lovely co-host,
That girl Tay.
and we have a special guest for you today. You may know her from.
TLC's Before the 90 Days. We have the lovely Kim with us here today. Let's get into it.
Hello there.
Hey.
Uh, so, what were you doing before you became a reality star?
So I was just living my little quiet life. I was a restaurant manager and for like almost 15, 16 years, taking care of my mom. I was living a
Yeah.
really, really, really quiet life. And then bam. Yeah, here we are now. But I changed jobs. I work in a spa now. I'm a spa receptionist now at a resort, and it's a little more controlled because people were
Okay.
coming on after before the 90 days, and they were recording me. And I have no makeup on. I'm
Oh,
sweating. I'm like
yeah.
French fries. Yeah, and they were recording. I'm like, can you not? Like, this is my job. you know,
Right.
that was crazy. So I met my spa director. She actually came into my restaurant and she was like, let's get you out of here. And I was like, okay.
Right.
And I love it. I come home, I don't smell like grease and fried onions anymore.
Yeah,
Right. Yes.
Um, hair's better,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's a win-win for Kim.
Yes, because I've been there. I worked in fast food before. It's a job,
yes, absolutely.
It, and when I moved, I had to like throw away all my old like work clothes, and they were nice clothes. Well, I
Yeah.
donated them, and I took them to get them dry cleaned because that smell of grease just never gets out.
I know that smell.
It's
Yes,
so
it does
bad.
not come out. Look.
It doesn't. Even Jamal told me, he's like, it smells so good when you come home now. I'm like, thanks.
Oh my gosh.
Were you pursuing anything other? I mean, in the meantime, when you're working at your restaurants and stuff,
Was I doing what? I'm
were you
sorry.
pursuing like a career of your dreams or anything like that?
Not really. I was pretty content in my life. I was quite successful at my restaurant.
Okay.
And really well. I took like a restaurant business management course. I was doing,
Oh,
I was making good money and everything, but I just felt like it just wasn't for me after a while because it's a lot of walking. Y'all know I have that limp. I got a bad hip. So
yeah.
it was just a lot of walking. It's a lot of stress and stuff, and I'm getting
Yeah.
older. I don't need all the stress that I used to have. So, and then once my mom passed away, I went back for a couple months and it just wasn't for me anymore. It
Yeah.
just, when it's not, it's just not for you,
Right.
and I'm happy with but I will say they were really, really good to me as far as like filming. And they were really good to me when my mom passed. Like, I think I took
Okay.
like 6 months off. So, I mean,
Oh.
I didn't get paid for it, but I had I didn't get paid, but I had the time to like take care of myself, because
Right.
it's
Right.
still regardless of how you look at it. And they were really good to me about that. So I give them credit for that.
Oh, that's good. So can you
Yeah.
tell us like a little bit about your background and your upbringing? Like what makes Kim the Kim we know today?
Oh, that's a scary. So, I have a past just like everybody else. I have a
Mhm.
past. That I've done in my past 30 years ago. Why it all came out, I'll never understand. But I was raised with my mom and dad. My mom and dad got in San Diego. My mom and dad got divorced when I was 7.
Mhm.
And then I had an amazing stepfather. His name was Keith. Amazing. And he was just like my dad
Oh,
because
yeah.
really around and stuff. And then I had a brother and sister. They were older than me, but mom always raised us just to love like who we love, and love is love. Like my brother was homosexual.
Mhm.
Um, always dated outside my own race, and my family. My mom never judged us like that. We weren't raised to be that. My mom said,
Right.
if they're and they're green and they treat you well, then all power to them. But she
Right.
raised that with that love is love mentality, and I think out of everything in my childhood and everything, that was the biggest life lesson for me. She also told me one thing, but I don't know if I can curse on here, and it's my favorite saying.
Uh,
She's always used to say, do your best and fuck the rest. That was just,
okay, mom.
but
Okay.
yeah, that's how she raised us, and I was like a really good kid, and I was like the baby, and
Hmm.
then I got in some, in high school, started doing a little partying and all that stuff. And then
Okay.
not the direction I want my life to go.
Hmm.
So I went in the army, and I'm a Desert Storm vet. And the military actually taught me a lot about like time It really disciplines you. I think everybody that's 18 should go in the military for at least 2 years just to
Absolutely.
get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm a
Yeah.
military vet myself.
All right.
Yeah.
You know how it is. You know,
Yes.
it's a lot now. They have this co-ed shit going on, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But like, my childhood was really, really good. We were really, really close, you know. And I get questions a lot about like, how come, like, you know, my sister passed away a year and 1 day
Oh.
after, and I
Oh.
get a lot like, how come that side of my family isn't on the show? They didn't want to be on the show, you
Right.
know.
Right.
My sister was private. Some people chose to like try to go into my past. I never hid them. I just didn't.
Right.
They didn't want to. So not everybody wants this life, you know.
Right. That is true. That is true.
But my sister was actually the one that got me watching the show because I never watched the show until Usman's season before me.
Yeah.
And my sister called me one day and she was like, I was during COVID, you know, when you have
Hmm.
all that, I working 12 hours. Yeah, I had like all this free time and I was watching all
Yeah.
these things on Netflix. My sister was like, have you ever seen that show called 90 Day Fiance? And I was like,
Hmm.
no. And then, yeah, and then I started watching and it was Usman's season with his ex. And I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. And then,
That's what
I,
got you. The accent got you.
well, yeah, but no, I guess I don't know. I don't know. Is that the next question?
Yeah.
but, but no, to go back to that, I had a really good like upbringing. I was taught to, you know, respect people and
Mhm.
have and make people respect me. I was taught not to start shit, and
Mhm.
but you know what I mean. And my mom was like, my dad wasn't really around a lot, but he was like towards the end before he passed. You know, him and
Mhm.
he didn't really he didn't really approve of me having Jamal, and that's all about that. And then, but then they got close, and then
Okay.
about a year before he passed, I found out he had bladder cancer. So
Oh.
I I drove out to Bullhead City up in Arizona or something, and I drove, and it kind of just made my peace with it because it's like, what's the point of holding on to old stuff? You know what I mean? I'm his daughter
Right.
at the end of, and my grandparents were the same way on his side. They were just not with the whole interracial thing, you know.
Right.
It taught me a big life lesson. Like I would never judge my family or judge people that decide to date, you know, interracially. You know what I'm saying? It taught me a
Right.
lot.
Right.
Yes.
Mhm.
Believe that I hold on to my mom's morals that love is love and do your best and fuck the rest. That's
Right. Right. Look, I'm gonna have to use it. I'm gonna.
my best friend Vanessa. She was on season 1 and season 2 with me. My best friend.
Oh.
She she has a post-it note in her office that just has the initials for it. I was like, yeah, don't write it out because I'm tired, but don't. But it's a good thing to live by, you know?
Yes. You need to put it on some shirts.
Absolutely.
Merch coming soon.
Yes. Yes.
And can you tell us how you first started talking to Usman online?
No, I'm just joking. Yeah. So like I said, I started watching the show and then I was on Twitter and I love the memes. You know, I loved all the memes and stuff. Like I never necessarily thought he was like gorgeous or I'm sorry. I'm not trying to throw shade, but
Right.
I just vibe and I really liked his vibe. And so it was like one episode where they were fighting and I messaged him on Twitter and I was like, listen, like not every American woman acts like that. And you know, it was so disrespectful. Can I say that? It was
Mhm.
so disrespectful. And so about a couple days later, he messaged me back and he was like, hey. And I was like, oh, hey, you know, and we and then like just on Twitter, very, very sporadically. It was like
Yeah.
one every 2 weeks or whatever. And then, but I was shocked because I'm like, oh, he's messaging me, right? And then he asked me one morning during COVID, I was sitting on my bed. I'm
Mhm.
a former, I was smoking, and I was sitting on my bed smoking a cigarette, drinking a cup of coffee, no makeup on, my hair in a big, all the dark circles were glowing, you know. And he said, do you have WhatsApp? And I was like, no. And he was like, and I was like, but I'll download it. And he was video chatting me. And I was like,
Ooh,
what? I ran to the bathroom, did my hair, put my full face of makeup.
I have been there. I have been.
I woke up like this. And
Period.
he appeared. And then, but we talked for like 4 hours. It was about like 4 hours the first phone call.
Whoa.
And it wasn't anything about, it wasn't like relationship wise or
Mhm.
anything. It was friends, you know. And
Yeah.
then this drama happened with him and what's her name. And yeah, and we just started talking from there. And then it was like an everyday thing. Like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't just like, hey, what's up? Whatever. It was like every single night for like 3 hours. And I always called it Kim and
Wow.
Us. And that's when, you develop feelings. And then we
Mhm.
started talking. Voila.
Oh my
So,
gosh. That
well,
is cute. Y'all
I
in that
shouldn't say,
puppy love stage real
okay,
bad. Look, yeah.
but it was good. And he was like really like invested in my life as I was his.
Mhm.
So
Right.
yeah, it was a crazy time. It seems like it was so long ago, right?
Right. It kind of does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when we saw you, it seems like it was long ago, but it wasn't that long ago for real.
No,
So,
no, and
yeah.
it's
So,
going and going.
right. So, when you first found out you were going to be on the show, like, how did that feel? Like, what were your like initial thoughts and feelings about that?
Oh, so to do it. He had approached me with it before. I
Hmm.
would joke about it, like, you should bring me on the show, like joking, right?
Hmm.
And then when he asked me to do it, I was like, nah, this is not for me. I'm very private. And like I didn't think this was gonna be like a good, like a good thing. Then
Hmm.
I talked to Jamal about it, my son, and I talked to my mom. And
Hmm.
Jamal, right? He was like,
Yes.
oh, nobody really watches it. It's not gonna be that big of a deal, right? Yeah, mom, go ahead and do it. Live your best life, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And my mom was the same way. Because she loved Usman. My mom loved Usman. She loved him. She never
Oh.
had any judgment. I don't want to get emotional. When she got sick, like the last month and a half, she was in and out of the hospital and stuff.
Hmm.
He videoed her every single day. And even if I wasn't there, he would call her phone and
Oh,
he'd be like,
that's
Mommy,
so nice.
boy, yeah. So
Oh.
I didn't want to do it. I was private and I have a good life. I was making good money and stuff. And I was driving to work one day and he texted me and he's like, TLC is going to call you today. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh.
Pulled over on the side of the road. And I was like, Usman, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see I want to see what this is going to be
Hmm.
because we had not get in a relationship until we met in person
Right.
because of, his past. And, I
Uh-huh.
mean, I have see, like, what if he was ugly? Or what if he wasn't tall? Or what if
Right.
I
Right.
reservation too? So, yeah, so I did my casting and yeah, and then I got it. And then I was just like, okay, here I am. So it was crazy,
Yeah, I
crazy.
bet it was. Ooh.
And what was initially going through your mind when the camera started rolling?
Oh shit, what did I do? I
Girl.
loved it. I was really uncomfortable. And I always tell people this, like, I think the first season for Before the 90 Days,
Mhm.
I think I was really like awkward a lot because it's like, hi, you're like right here,
Oh, yeah.
And it's
like
brand new.
you get used to them. They're like family to me now. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
good.
And yeah, they're like family to me. And they were there for the bad times and the good
Mhm.
times, And I think they get invested in it too because they're watching you, like they're watching your whole life. Like nothing I did or Usman did was fake for that show. Not one thing. Like everything you saw was the way it happened.
Right,
And
right.
I always tell people, don't watch my first season, watch my second season because I think you see I'm not chasing and you see a lot more of my personality and you see like his personality because
Right.
everybody always stereotyped him as this like flashy, like this flashy dude and everything, like with no personality. And he's funny. Like
Yeah,
Usman was really funny and
yeah,
he has a good personality. And I think people need to see more of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Like, and when I first started talking to you, like you act the same and talk to me the same how you were talking on the show. I'm like, this is the real Kim for real. Like this.
Absolutely. And that bothers me a lot when people say that we faked it or
Mhm.
people say I faked anything because you sit up there and say, oh, you raised such a wonderful son and you're such a good person. But then you think I would go, I'm not an actress. If I did, I deserve a fucking Oscar because
Right.
that I meet in person that, like followers and stuff, when I meet them in person, they're like, you're the same exact way. You look better in
Yep.
person though. That a lot. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
And they you're so pretty. And I'm like, oh, thank. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
But it says the same thing, like your heart is just so genuine. And it is. It
Yes.
is. You can't fake that.
You really can't. So like when you were with him, like and you first got to Africa or whatever, like were there any cultural exchanges or surprises or something, like anything that happened that was shocking to you?
No, I feel like when the second wife issue came up and then like adopting his brother's baby and all that, like I really felt like that was the big cultural thing for me because I'm like, how am I
Mm-hmm.
going to just baby, you know?
Right.
But you know, and I felt like I feel like anybody, public service announcement, anybody that gets into an international relationship really has to do their own research because I was
Yeah.
just going by what Usman told me. I wasn't really you know what I mean? And
Right.
then when I watch it back, I'm like, shit, did I say that? Or,
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah. I respect his culture so much. I respect his religion, his culture, the whole way of life. I respect it so
Mm-hmm.
much. I understand it more now that I'm not in it. Does that make sense?
Right, right, right,
You know, everything. But I really meant what I said. Like, I would have let him take another wife because I can't have children. I don't want any more children. My son
right,
is
right,
know? And
right.
that was the biggest thing for me. Like when we first met and then like the not sleeping together and
Mm-hmm.
or staying in a hotel room or whatever, I was okay with that because
Mm-hmm.
I was, well, what if I didn't like him?
Yeah.
Like, you know, what if I had been with him and I'd have been like, you know, like
Yeah.
nobody liked you. When
Right.
before we both decided to stay in separate hotel rooms, it was
Yeah.
not just a decision, you know?
Right, right. But when they did bring up that second wife thing, I'm gonna tell you, me, when I was like, oh, I was like, they're not about to do Kim like that. I was like, like I'm over here getting all upset. I'm like, first of all, no. Like
Oh no, but I just felt like I would be doing it. He would if we would have got married, he would have regretted me. It would have been a regret his whole life not to have children. And I think Usman
yeah.
was a good father. You know, I think he would. I wasn't for like me and the second wife living together. Like I
Right.
wasn't for sister wife kind of lifestyle.
Right,
You know,
right.
but I was totally in support of him having children because I feel like I was so blessed to have my son that
Right.
I wouldn't never deny somebody that. But like the things he told me about like how it would be were not right. And then when I
Yeah.
Yeah.
researching, I'm like, okay, this you didn't tell me this part, you know?
Right, right.
That's why I threw the milkshake, you know? I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not the whole story and then get mad at me when I question it, you know? So it's
Right, right. He didn't read you the
great.
fine print.
Yeah. Next time I'm gonna
Yeah.
be looking like, okay, did you
It's like the end of the commercial when they say the stuff real fast.
I know it's crazy.
Since
But
being
oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
did
Oh,
you say,
but I do respect his culture. I respect the way he was raised. I know that like if anybody Usman needs to tell his story because like the way he was brought up and the way like I think people would understand and like people laugh when he says like he doesn't have sex unless he's in a relationship. That's how it is there. You know what I mean?
right.
And you I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. Flew 27 hours to get here. Ankles were
Right.
yeah, I didn't get it at first, but now I always tell people because I get a lot of messages from people that want like dating advice when they're dating
hmm
like a night and I'm like, girl, don't ask me, we're not together. But I always just say follow your heart, but you have to be cautious too, you know?
yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah, that's my best advice. Anybody
And how's your life changed since being on the show?
um I wear makeup everywhere I go now. I went to the gas station like a couple months ago and I just had on like sweats and a hoodie, you know, no bra,
hmm
right? No makeup and big sunglasses. And I got recognized by like everybody at the gas station, like at all the
What?
other. And I was like, hi, you know, and I love it for the most part, but it's I love it. I mean, I feel
Yeah.
blessed that this life that I have now. Like I
hmm
do a lot of, oh, I do cameos. I have a lot of, it's been a good ride for me, except for the negative shit. You know, it's been a
Right,
good ride.
right.
At first, I was in a spiral reading these comments, guys, these DMs and these comments, and when everything came out about my past and all this stuff,
hmm
and I was Jesus Christ, and I would call Usman crying. I'm like, this person said I look like
Oh.
a monster. This person, you know, and then I feel like I have a really really good circle of people around me. I've lost some since the show. People think I've changed. I haven't changed at all. No amount of notoriety can stop me from being a good
Right.
person.
Yeah.
I'm still the same old Kim, but
Right.
I feel I have such a tight circle around me that I just hold on to those people. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You have to have
But
a small circle. Like you have
yeah,
to.
you have to, and you just can't read every single. I get sent everything. People send me so much. I mean, I see everything, and
Yeah.
my followers now, I blocked a lot. I know about hidden words now. I mean, that was like the hardest thing for me.
Uh-huh.
And then social media, I used to have an old Kimberly IG, and
Okay.
then made me a new one when the show promo came out, and it went from like 420 followers to like 10,000 in like 3 months. And I was like, Jesus, and if you would have told me now, I would have 274,000 followers. I
Yeah.
would have been like, it's a lot sometimes, but I'm really grateful for the promo I get for doing podcasts like this. Like I'm truly grateful, because
Mhm.
I want to use my platform for good too. I don't want to use it just for like my own personal gain, like there's
Right.
homelessness, so many things I want to talk about, you know what I mean? And
Right.
Yes.
I will soon enough. I will. So I want to start a platform with the racially profiling these people and doing all this stuff. Like my son is mixed, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I owe it to the community to do what's right too, with my
Right.
platform. So you'll
Right.
see coming up.
Okay. And I was just about to ask you about some of that too. Like what endeavors like have you engaged in since being on the show, or what would you like to dabble in, using your
Yeah,
platform?
I think this world of racism is so crazy to me as a person, a 53-year-old woman, and I know like from like I was talking about my dad and my grandparents, not that's how they were taught. But
Hmm.
we need to kids now, that's not the way to go. This is not the way to
Right.
go.
Yeah.
These teenagers and these people in their
Hmm.
20s, so much hate in them. And to me, it's like, why do you hate this person? Because they're African American or because they're
Right.
Chinese? Why? What is the
Right.
point of that? And I think it's a struggle. I think that even though they're like people don't really talk about it now, it's just always going to be a struggle, And
Yes.
I feel like I have a voice for that, and I feel like I don't know anything. Like I'm not a crusader. I'm not trying to say but I think that the racism and just the hate, all the hate that you see. Like there's so much hate against
Yes.
sexuals and against like a lot of people don't know my brother was homosexual. My brother died
Hmm.
of AIDS.
Hmm.
So I mean, there's so many good causes out there. And then this homelessness thing, like you go anywhere, and San Diego's pretty nice, right? You go anywhere, that's all you see anymore. And it's so, and especially me being a veteran, like
Hmm.
homeless, like my thing. I was talking to a guy at my job yesterday about that. And it's just unfortunate that we live in a world where we don't take care of our veterans.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you'll see something. I'm going to a gala with Jamal on next Saturday. I actually had to buy
Oh.
a dress, no, but I'm going to for homelessness and stuff.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
going up parents, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to the gala.
Yeah.
I think that's the start for me. And then we'll just work it up from there.
Right. And I have a girl group here, and we did a giveaway to the homeless. Like we went, to our downtown area, and we were giving away like essentials, like things that they needed, and like little, we called it care packs and stuff, because it is a big issue. Like I've never been to San Diego, but he's actually from San Diego.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. What part?
Spring Valley.
Oh, I know. I'm in El Cajon now.
Yeah.
So
That's like
I
right.
would have
Yeah, right over.
Oh, that's y'all are
been here.
neighbors. We're gonna have to come out there and visit you.
You're gonna have
Yes.
but I used to live in Linda Vista. So and I sold my mom's house and bought my little house. And I mean
We're not gonna say little. Bought your
it's okay.
house. Take that little out.
I love it. I mean, I feel like it was the first one I went to go see, and it was meant for me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you just vibe, and I love it. So it's the first time I've actually owned anything like by myself.
Right.
And that's like a big thing for
And
me.
that's an
So
accomplishment in life.
It is.
Look.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. It's so that's another thing somebody wrote on one of my comments. They were like, "Oh, you should thank Usman for buying your house for getting you on the show. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, the money helps, but
Oh,
I did this.
wow.
This is all me. This is all
Right,
me, right?
right.
Um, the house that we had in Linda Vista, it was like too many memories. You know what I mean? It was like because
Mhm.
I lost my whole family, my brother and my dad,
Yeah,
my mom. So
Yeah.
it's just like every time I'd walk in, it was like overwhelming sadness,
yeah.
And I did what my mom would have wanted me to do. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Like she wanted me to be. My mom always said, "I just want you to be happy. I just want you to be happy,"
mhm.
and that's what I'm attempting to do. And it's been a lot of sadness. It's been a lot of, I'm like the family matriarch now. And so
Mhm.
I'm trying to like healthy. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I'm
Okay.
gonna start exercise because I'm all they got. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah,
all niece and my nephew and Jamal and my brother-in-law. It's just like that's just us now.
yeah. Oh,
So I have to best life for them too. So that's
mm,
what like all the stuff that that goes on social media and everything. I can't be bothered. I just can't. I am the
right.
unbothered. I'm gonna get a shirt that says unbothered queen on
Yeah. Right.
it.
And how have you maintained a sense of normalcy and privacy since being on the show?
Just being myself. Just being myself. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things for people. You either love me for who I am or you don't.
Right.
And I feel like for the privacy, I'm actually a homebody. Like when I go out, I'm all extroverted, like hey,
Yeah.
and then I get
Yeah.
I don't want to answer the phone.
Yes.
Favorite times are just like being in my house with my cats, watching
Yeah.
TV, or I mean, it's like my time.
Right.
And but I don't know, like the privacy thing. Like I haven't started. I'm talking to some people, but I haven't started dating yet. And
Mhm.
I'm like, do I sign an NDA? Like I don't want nobody posting my
Oh,
screenshots.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like what am I with all that? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the future goes.
Yeah.
But I'm actually pretty private anyway. I just don't, and if people stop me and they're like, can we take a picture? I'm like, absolutely, because I'm
Yeah.
so grateful, you know? I'm so,
Yes. Yes.
and I don't, I'm very humble and I know
Mm.
like where I come from,
Right. Right.
you know? So
Right.
that's, yeah, take
That's
me or you
good.
love me. I love me. It's up to you.
Right. So, question, what is your guilty pleasure? Like, I love to shop. Like, I was just shopping earlier when we were making sure we were still on for today. I was out spending too much money. So, what is your guilty pleasure?
Sheen and Amazon.
Ooh,
I'm,
me too. I
I'm
just got
an,
a package today. Look at you.
Sure did.
I I love Sheen. People can talk shit all they want. I love
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Shout out Sheen. No, but
Look, yeah.
I love it. But like a Sheen haul, you got to get like 10 different things and then like eight'll fit. But I've
Yes.
always had but online shopping probably,
Hmm.
especially when I got because I bought all new everything, right?
Yes.
So shopping is one and then ordering food. I don't and it's funny, I
Me
have a fridge
too. Me
so
too.
bad. I
Yeah.
have a fridge full of food and I'm just over there like, let's
Yes.
see what
He's like, we got food at the house. We just went grocery shopping. Why are you trying to
Absolutely.
buy DoorDash? Why are you door and I DoorDash it too, so it's
Yeah.
the worst.
I think COVID got like that because I was like over like frozen yogurt and shit. Like I was
Yes.
doing it was
Yes.
so bad. Like everything was like 3 minutes away from me. I'm like, I don't feel like getting
Yes.
dressed.
That is me. That is me. He's like, you spending all that money. I'm like, I have the Dash Pass. I'm
I
like,
don't have that. But like I don't like to go. I don't like to like go. Once I'm home, I'm home. And
me
I'm such
too.
a
Same way.
yeah, once I'm home, I am home. Like I
Yes.
take off, I moisturize, do whatever, and then I'm
Yep.
done. Don't have to go out again because I'm not going. Once I'm home,
Right.
I'm
I am not leaving this house till tomorrow. Look.
I all said too, because when I went on that cruise, right,
Uh-huh.
that was like I did all this stuff. I went jet skiing and I did all this stuff. And my son told me, Jamal said, "Ma, don't get on that cruise ship and just stay in your damn room the whole time."
Oh my
That's just
gosh.
how I am.
Yeah.
And now that I'm living by myself, I think it's gotten worse, honestly. Oh well. But yes, so shop
Right. Oh well.
food is my guilty pleasure. So I'm buying clothes the size up when I because my fat ass keeps
Oh,
ordering
girl.
What's your favorite item you purchased this year so far?
my couch.
Oh, okay. Can't go wrong with a
My
good couch.
Right.
this couch, Jamal came here the other day and he was like, "There's something about this couch. Like every time you sit, like, oh, And I would have to say my house is like probably the biggest thing that I bought. Like the biggest, that makes me so happy to come home. It makes me so
Right.
happy. I own it. Know that nobody can't take it away from me because my mom had a little debt. So
Right.
nobody can take this away from me. Like it's mine.
Right.
And I like the way I decorated it is just my taste. And like if I want to come in here and paint the walls green tomorrow, I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was
Right.
my best. Yeah, that and my lovely couch. I love my couch, which you
Yeah.
see it on.
So, like, what's something that I know a lot of times y'all get asked the same questions over and over again. So, what's a question that you always wish someone would ask, but no one would ever ask?
Oh God, that's a hard one. I too, and I didn't know what to say to that one. Um, I wish sometimes people would just ask me how I'm doing. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like sometimes people tend to think because you saw me on TV, my whole life.
Right.
But people don't understand. Like I am a human being. Words hurt,
Mhm.
and I wish somebody would just be like, "How are you doing today?" Like
Right.
like how are you really feeling about things today. I
Right.
have my good days. I have my bad days. I have
Mm.
days where I can still to this day that mourning my mom and my sister. And I think about like the loss of the weight of loss I've had. My dad died in 2021, my mom in 22, and my sister in 2023. It's a lot.
Wow.
I feel like people just see what they want to see or post what they want to post or
Mhm.
whatever story that is written about even Usman or myself, right?
Right.
And they're not thinking like, damn, this girl's been through a lot of trauma. And I'm not using my trauma as an excuse, but like, ask
Right.
me how I'm every once in a while. Like, hey, Kim, how are you doing today?
Right. Right. Right.
So I think that sometimes that, like I'll meet like followers and stuff. Like I get recognized a lot at my job and everything.
Mhm.
And people come in and they scream when they see me. And that it warms my heart. But
Yeah.
then like some people come in with notebooks and they're just like, okay, so tell me what happened on this day and time, like, and this,
Oh.
that.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
but a circle of people that check on me and make sure that
Mhm.
my mental is okay.
Right.
Um, I was going to go to therapy. I don't think it's for me, but
Mhm.
I have started journaling things,
Mhm.
and that really helped me a lot. But I think
Okay.
that's like the thing is like people, can write whatever they want to write about
Mhm.
you or say what they want to say or talk about your looks, but you don't even know what that person's going through or how they feel
Exactly.
about it, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. What would people be surprised to know about you?
How introverted I really am. How introverted I really am and how I don't know. I think like people are really surprised when they meet me about how genuine I am.
Mhm.
Like how they're like, damn, you're exactly like you are on the show. You're exactly the same person. I'm like, yeah. And yeah, how strong I am, I think,
Mhm.
and really
Yeah.
how fucking unbothered I am by shit,
Right.
you know?
Okay. I can get that. I get that from your personality. Even when you were on live the other day, like when the
Yeah.
people were in the comments, trolling a little bit, like you were like brushing it off and stuff. Because me, I'm a Leo, so sometimes I'm gonna have the urge to clap back.
Oh, I try not to. I really try not to. It's just like it's always so redundant. Like they ask me
Mhm.
the same questions over and over and over again.
Um,
And I'm just like, how many times do I have to answer this about, my ex, or I have to, like how many times do I have to answer these questions? Like
right.
and I know a lot of people do it just to get that attention. But yeah, I think that about how strong I am and how much I've really went through in my 53 years of living on this earth.
Right.
And that I've just made my peace with everything. Like whatever is being said is being said. And, what can I do? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, what can I do? I'm always going to keep it classy. I'm always going to not clap back as hard as it is sometimes I just want to be like, oh, these motherfuckers, and then I'm just like, what's the point of me acting out of character? Because
Right.
Yeah.
Usman gave me that queen title for a reason. And I
Mhm.
think that I try to handle myself with dignity, and now I didn't always, throwing
Yeah.
stuff and everything isn't always, dignified, but
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. And I think that's what people need to know about me now is that I am
Mhm.
not the same Kim I was 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I'm a different person now. And I like that Kim. I like that ratchet side of Kim. I like the
Right.
ratchet side. But I've learned to contain myself and control what I say. And I control my own life. I control my own narrative. And I
Mhm.
won't let anybody discredit that for me. So it's
Right.
better for me to stay cute and classy than to,
Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
like I just try to be like, right. That's why if you look at my IG posts, they're always like pretty, I try to keep it positive because
Yes.
there's, like I said earlier, there's so much hate in this world. Like there's so much
Yes.
hate, and there's so much hate going towards me. And I'm like, what did I do? What did I do?
Be on
And I
TV.
feel like
That's it.
no. And my loyalty is always going to be to the people that are loyal to me. That's it.
Right.
Period. Period.
Who?
Who- Remember when Nene Leaks used to go beep? I
Yep.
used to love beep. That's
I
my glue.
love her too. Oh my
I
god.
do too. I love her. And I just started watching The Shy. So I'm on
Yeah.
season 4 of it now, right? Candy Burris I love her so much anyway. I love her a million times more after watching The Shy. I love her.
Yeah.
The Housewives are my thing. So yeah, it's like
I've
that's
never
one of my
even
guilty pleasures.
watched it. I heard it's really good though, but like I need to check it out. I heard it's really, really like an addicting show. Like you can't wait for like the next show.
I know it's true. And that the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and that was my sister. My sister loved guilty pleasure shows, like
Yeah,
all of them.
that's
Like
me. Me.
yeah, and I remember one time she sent me a message because Sonia Morgan from the Real Housewives of New York City
Uh-huh.
liked one of my sister's comments, and I
Oh.
thought my sister, she was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, I felt when Usman messaged me, I felt
Yes.
if you see these people on your TV and you're just like, oh my
Yes.
God, and everything. But my sister was like over the moon about that. And she was
Yes.
so proud of me being on this show. Like she would go when I went to her memorial. There was people because she lived in this small town called Mariposa, and she would go to like this bar like every Sunday, and she'd be
Mm-hmm.
like with her little diamonds and stuff, right? She's like, my sister's about to come on. Make sure you put the TV on my sister, And she wasn't every time I did something embarrassing, she
Oh.
would text me and be like, Kim, what the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry, But she was like really, I think it was like surreal for like my
Yeah.
family and for people that know me, like to see me like that now. And thank God I have friends that like my best friend Vanessa, she'll be like, bitch, you're still Kim. Like you're just Kim to
Yeah.
me. And I want people to see me like that. Like I am
Right.
still Kim, So yeah. But it was fun.
Good. So, being on TV, I know you get some crazy DMs and crazy comments and people sliding in your DMs and stuff. So, tell us about like one of the craziest fan stories you have.
Okay, so I get a lot of the penis pics, which is really weird to
Uh-uh.
me. And I
Girl.
think the craziest one I received, it's so bad. I have reported. I got this whole page taken down. This gentleman sent me a little video of him having sex with his wife while watching me on the show.
Are you
And
serious?
I was like, this was before the 90 days. Right now, I just sent him. I'm
No.
like, you're funny.
Yeah.
But I was shocked. And I remember I showed it to my mom, and my mom was like,
Yeah.
"What?" It was so gross. Like that's just gross, right?
Yes.
But I think that's one. And then there was a guy. He was really cute, and he was 46. He was really
Mhm.
nice. We started messaging a little bit back and forth because he was cute. He lived in Indiana,
Uh-huh.
really nice. And then his wife messaged me and was like, he was in prison, and when he would
Oh,
video call me, he was video calling me from the yard.
what?
I had no idea. This is
Yeah.
why I say I need an NDA. I need an NDA if I
Yes.
start yeah, and I didn't know. Like if you don't know, you don't know. And like he didn't have anything with her on his Instagram or on his
Uh-huh.
TikTok or anything. And I was just like, wow. And that was like my last thing because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna quit dating for a while.
Yes.
So
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I get them all. I get them all. But mostly it's like a lot of support. And I read
Okay.
DM. I every morning I get up really early. I do my little prayer thing. I meditate, and then I open up my social media. And I have to pray to God for that. So, and then I'll drink my coffee. I don't answer every DM because it's just I just can't. But
Right.
I read every one. So you know, you got to stay connected to your fans. You
Yeah.
know.
Because I was surprised when you messaged back.
Yeah.
I was telling, I was like, guess who just messaged back? And he was like, who? I was like, Kim.
Aw.
I was like,
And then another thing, people get so excited. This lady came in my job yesterday, and my director was there, my spa director, Kenya, who's the best boss I think I've ever had in my whole life, except for Vanessa. She used to be my general manager too. And then our other director was there, right? This guy, Joseph. And this woman came in, she just screamed. And I'm, we're in the spa. It's like,
yeah.
And I was like, hi, hi. And it's funny and it's so humbling that people get so excited to see me. And I'm like, oh, come here. Come here. But now with this new strain of COVID, when I hug him like the Matrix. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
So
you have to be safe out there in these streets.
You got to now, this new COVID strain. I'm a little scared.
Right.
It's the flu, people.
Yeah. That's really what it is, like a bad flu, like a new strain.
That's crazy. It's never gonna go away. So
no. Like we've adjusted, like
what's a
crazy.
Yes.
What's a fun fact about you that no one knows?
I like to read. I read all the time. I read everything I can get my hands on. I used to read a lot when I was like little. And then like my favorite book growing up was like, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, right?
Aww.
Right now, reading, and I just started back reading. Jamal made a comment to me. He's like, You used to read all the time. And I was like, damn. And I have like thousands of books in my Kindle. And right now I'm reading Sister Soldier because I love The Coldest Winter Ever. And now I'm reading the sequel, the last book with Winter Santiago. I never read it. And then I'm reading the Prince Harry biography too. Obsessed with the royals. Nobody knows that about me. And also I'm a Kardashian fan, man. I'm sorry. But that's how the reality shit started. You know what I mean? And I give props where props due. Kim's a beautiful woman. She's beautiful. So and I'm just waiting to see how their kids are going to turn out too.
Yes.
But I love them. And I think that like Kris Jenner is just a mastermind. You know what I mean? Like she's the brains. And I mean, that's a smart lady. I respect people's hustle. You know?
She is a marketing genius, like low key. Like she really is.
And you got to give credit. A lot of people give them a lot of shit, you know, and everything, and everything. But I love reality TV. Maybe 90 Day, you know, is my thing. But I watch a lot of other like reality too. You know, like I watch The Housewives, I watch The Kardashians, and I can't get into like Love Is Blind. A lot of those shows, I just can't. I don't do the competition thing, you know.
Right. I get that part
a lot too. People are like, how did you get picked for it? And like, how did I get picked? Like, oh, was it a game show? And I'm like, no.
Yeah. Like it's not a game show. Definitely not a game.
Yeah, go Google it. Just don't Google my first season. That's what I tell them.
Not the first one.
So what can we look for from you like in the future?
Well, like I said, I want to start doing more about raising awareness about certain things on my platform, more pillow talks for sure. That's like Jamal and I love it. It's like our bonding time. And then after those days, we're like, oh, just bye. It's long days, you know?
Yeah.
But we absolutely love it. I love the fact that they choose me for that so much. You know, like they like the dynamic with Jamal and I and everything. Somebody wrote a comment the other day. They're like, you need to stop touching your boyfriend like that. And I'm like, excuse me, that's my son.
Boyfriend. Oh my God.
But like things like that, like I would love to get into like hosting. I would love to get into just talking to people. You know what I mean? Like what you're doing. I would love to. I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel. I don't know exactly when, because to me it's like I'm so boring, but like I cook a lot. I like decorating my house, and the positivity thing is like my biggest thing, you know? And I'd love to start like a podcast or a YouTube or whatever. And people are so funny. I had groceries delivered the other day and I was on a live and somebody was like, well, just show us what you got. And I'm like, no, that's weird. But is it weird? Because a lot of people do that, right?
Yeah, they do. They show like everything. They're showing when they order, what they got, how they're putting it in their fridge and their freezer, like all of that. Like you
Yeah.
can show all of that. Like, and people will tune in because it's you.
It's so crazy. And
Yep.
that's so that's me, like to me as a normal person. It's so
Yeah.
crazy. I'm like, don't nobody want to see my frozen fish sticks. Like
But they do. They want to see it because that's their way to like relate with you, like on a different level too. Like, oh,
yeah,
well, she eats the same things that I eat, or she shops
yeah,
the same place that I shop,
yeah, like normal life. And then
Yeah.
like, I post my cats are right here. And I
Yeah.
post my and then I just think I need to be a little more open about like what I really am like in my personal life and what
Mm-hmm.
I really am like as far as like filming and stuff. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah.
Okay.
That's,
Okay.
that's all. But we'll see.
I'll keep my eyes open.
But we'll
Okay.
see what's next. Like
Mm-hmm.
to I'm not opposed to anything. Like I'll do but I don't want to do anything that's not good for my soul. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right.
and do something I think is fake, or I can't go on and do something just for a check. Like that's never
Right.
been my thing.
Right.
When I entered both seasons and when I entered my relationship with Usman, I did it with an open heart. I did it with
Mm-hmm.
my heart and my I'm a gift giver. That's my thing,
Yeah.
and people say that to me all the time. Like we can see that. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're a real one, and
Yes.
that's what my message to come across is that I'm a real person and but we'll see what's next. We'll
All
see what's next.
right. Well, I'm definitely gonna be looking.
How
I'll
can people
text you.
Okay.
how can people keep up with you on social media?
So my Instagram is it's Kimberly 90. My Facebook is different. It's Kimberly Dawn. And then my TikTok is it's Kimberly 90 as well. Snapchat, same thing. It's Kimberly 90. I don't really post a lot of snaps because like the filters, like I'm older. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
yeah.
but yeah, those ways. And then if anybody wants to reach me for like promo, they can go through my management or they can send me an email and I'll forward it to my management. So yeah, I'm down. I'm down. I'm
All
so down.
right.
And my only fans is no, I'm just
Oh.
playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Never in my life.
But
Never
like
in
we
my
won't
life.
know, it could be feet. Some people are making a killing just selling feet pictures
You
on
know,
there too.
you know that I get a lot of DMs about people wanting to see my feet. It's so weird.
What?
It's some of my photo shoots and stuff. I'm wearing like open-toed shoes.
Yeah.
I have the prettiest feet, and I'm like, ew. Okay, you want to pay me? Here they are. No,
Right, right.
but yeah, I don't know. There's nobody wants to see this 53-year-old all this on some OnlyFans. I just can't do it. Not my thing. But
Look, you will be surprised. You will be surprised.
don't try to talk me into it. Okay? I'm not
No,
doing
talk you into
Just
it.
start off with the feet. Start off.
the feet and the nails. Maybe this
Yes,
because I
yes.
always
Start off with the feet and the nails. Yeah.
yeah, and everything. But I am going to be doing promo for my spa
Okay.
because my skincare, my face has changed so much since I started working there. I started
Oh,
using this other product, and I used to just use like over the counter shit, and then I really got into the skincare working in the spa. And
mhm.
my skin, I mean, I'm 53, and I mean, it's pretty. I still got the dark circles and stuff, but it's so much better. Like my skin is so
Yeah.
healthy. I'm really involved. So you'll see promo from
Okay.
my resort. Yeah.
All right. When we come out there, we're gonna have to visit the spa and see him.
Come see me. I get a discount on rooms and stuff. So we'll talk
Oh
about.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll let you know. Yes, I'll let you know.
I got you. I got you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was so much
Yes,
fun.
It was fun.
absolutely.
Thank you guys, and thank you for having me. So thank you for having me, honestly, and just keep watching. Just keep
We
watching.
will. I'm gonna be tuned in.
All right. Nice to
All
see you
right. Bye.
guys.
Talk
Okay,
soon.
Bye.
I'm gonna text you. Okay,
What'd you say?
I'm gonna text you in a minute.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
and then don't forget to send me a DM. I'm
I
pointing
won't
at
Okay.
forget.
you.
I won't let them
Right.
forget.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Thank you guys for joining us today on Behind the Scenes Podcast, where we take you. Wait, was it?
We give you life
Oh,
behind
yeah.
the lens.
I forgot the thing. Thank you all for joining us today on Behind the Scenes Podcast, where we bring you life beyond the lens. And I'm that girl, Tay.
I'm that man, Blue.
And it's a wrap.
All right. Can't believe it.